After 60, your bones can weaken so quickly that a simple fall could mean a broken hip, and even months in recovery. But here's the good news. Adding just a few specific foods to your diet can help protect your bones, keep you strong, and even prevent fractures before they happen. Many people assume bone loss is just an unavoidable part of aging, but that's only half the story. While it's true that bone density naturally declines as we grow older, what you put on your plate can either speed up that decline or slow it down dramatically. In fact, researchers have shown that seniors who eat the right foods maintain bone strength well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Let's take a step back for a moment and understand why bone health matters so much after the age of 60. By this stage of life, your bones have already gone through decades of wear and tear. You may not feel it every day, but bones are living tissue, constantly being broken down and rebuilt. This rebuilding process, known as bone remodeling, slows down as we age. That means bones lose density faster than they gain it. Add to that hormonal changes, reduced physical activity, and sometimes less than perfect nutrition, and you have a recipe for brittle bones. The biggest risk of weakened bones is osteoporosis, a condition that literally means porous bones. Millions of seniors develop osteoporosis without even knowing it, until a sudden fracture reveals the hidden weakness. Hip fractures are especially dangerous because they don't just lead to surgery and rehab. They can reduce independence, mobility, and overall quality of life. Wrist and spine fractures are also common and can lead to chronic pain or stooped posture. But here's what's empowering. Food is one of the most powerful tools you have to keep your bones resilient. You can't go back in time to rebuild the bone density you had at 25, but you can absolutely slow the loss, strengthen what remains, and give your bones the nutrients they need to stay solid. So what foods should you focus on? To answer that, let's start with the foundation of bone nutrition. Strong bones are built from three key elements. Calcium, the building block of bones. Everyone knows calcium is important for bones, but not everyone realizes that after 60, your body absorbs calcium less efficiently. That means you need to be extra intentional about getting enough. Calcium-rich foods aren't just limited to milk and cheese. Leafy greens like kale, bok choy, and collard greens are excellent sources. Almonds, sesame seeds, and calcium-fortified foods like plant-based milks or orange juice can also help. Vitamin D, the calcium helper. Without vitamin D, your body can't properly absorb calcium. That's why even if you're drinking milk or eating yogurt, it won't benefit your bones unless you're getting enough vitamin D. After 60, many people struggle with vitamin D deficiency because the skin becomes less efficient at producing it from sunlight. That makes vitamin D-rich foods, like fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified cereals, especially important. Protein, the scaffolding of bone. Bones aren't just made of minerals. They also have a protein matrix that holds everything together. If you're not eating enough protein, your bones can become fragile, even if your calcium intake is high. Seniors often unintentionally eat less protein as appetites decline, but this is a mistake. Good sources include lean poultry, beans, lentils, fish, tofu, and dairy. Now, here's something fascinating. Scientists have discovered that bone health isn't just about these three nutrients alone. It's about the balance between them and how they interact with other nutrients in your diet. For example, magnesium, vitamin K, and even omega-3 fatty acids play crucial roles in how your bones use calcium. It's like a construction site. Calcium is the bricks, vitamin D is the delivery truck, protein is the scaffolding, magnesium is the cement, and vitamin K is the foreman making sure everything is placed correctly. Without all of them working together, the building isn't stable. To make this even more practical, let's consider a typical day in the life of a senior who wants to boost bone strength. Imagine breakfast. Instead of just toast and coffee, you could have oatmeal topped with almonds and fortified plant milk, giving you a boost of calcium and protein. Add a boiled egg or two for vitamin D and protein, and suddenly you've built a bone-strengthening meal. At lunch, a salmon salad with leafy greens gives you vitamin D, omega-3s, and calcium from the greens. Dinner could be lentil soup with a side of sautéed kale, delivering plant protein, magnesium, and calcium. These small, intentional changes create a powerful ripple effect on your bones over time. But nutrition isn't just about adding foods. It's also about knowing what to limit. Too much salt, caffeine, and alcohol can actually pull calcium out of your bones, weakening them faster. Processed foods high in sodium are especially risky because they cause the body to lose calcium through urine. That's why seniors who want strong bones should focus on fresh, whole foods whenever possible. What's amazing is that changes can happen faster than you think. In as little as 6 months of eating a bone-friendly diet, bone density scans can show measurable improvement. Seniors who commit to these habits often report feeling stronger, more energetic, and even more confident in their balance, since stronger bones support better posture and movement. So as we move forward, keep this in mind. Your bones may feel invisible, hidden beneath skin and muscle, but they are your foundation. Protecting them means protecting your freedom to walk, garden, dance, play with your grandchildren, or simply get out of bed without fear of falling. And the foods you choose every day are either strengthening that foundation or slowly weakening it. After 60, your bones don't have time to wait. Each year, bone density can drop by as much as 1%, and for some people, even faster if they are not fueling their bodies with the right nutrients. The difference between a strong, active lifestyle and one filled with fractures often comes down to the foods you put on your plate. So let's break down the foods that science shows are most effective at protecting, strengthening, and nourishing bones in your later years. 1. Dairy products, the classic calcium powerhouses. For decades, milk, cheese, and yogurt have been considered staples for bone health, and for good reason. They are rich in calcium, the mineral that literally forms the bulk of your bones. But after 60, it's not just about calcium, it's also about bioavailability, which means how well your body absorbs it. Yogurt, particularly Greek yogurt, has the advantage of being easier to digest and high in protein, which gives bones that extra support. Cheese can be beneficial in moderation, especially hard cheeses like Parmesan, which are calcium-dense. Tip: if you're lactose intolerant, don't worry, lactose-free milk, fortified soy milk, and even some coconut or almond milks can provide the same benefit if they are fortified with calcium and vitamin D. 2. Fatty fish, vitamin D and omega-3s in one bite. Calcium is useless without vitamin D, and one of the best food sources is fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, and tuna are not only rich in vitamin D but also packed with omega-3 fatty acids. Why does that matter? Omega-3s reduce inflammation, which can help protect bones and joints from damage. Sardines are particularly special because they contain tiny edible bones, giving you a natural calcium boost as well. Tip: aim for 2 servings of fatty fish per week. A salmon fillet with roasted vegetables or sardines on whole grain toast can be a bone-strengthening meal that's both satisfying and simple. 3. Leafy green vegetables, more than just salad. Kale, collard greens, bok choy, and broccoli are some of the best plant-based sources of calcium. But they also deliver magnesium, vitamin K, and antioxidants, all of which play important roles in bone strength. Vitamin K, in particular, is often overlooked, but it helps bind calcium to the bone matrix, making bones denser and less likely to fracture. Tip: try sautéing kale with garlic and olive oil as a dinner side, or blend spinach into a smoothie with fortified almond milk for a refreshing bone-friendly drink. 4. Nuts and seeds, small but mighty. Almonds, chia seeds, sesame seeds, and flax seeds might be small, but they are loaded with bone-supporting nutrients. Almonds provide calcium and magnesium. Sesame seeds, especially in the form of tahini, sesame paste, are calcium-rich. Chia and flax seeds bring omega-3 fatty acids and fiber, adding another layer of protection against inflammation and bone loss. Tip: a tablespoon of chia seeds stirred into yogurt, or a sprinkle of sesame seeds on a salad, can pack a surprising bone-strengthening punch. 5. Beans and lentils, protein and minerals in every bite. As we age, protein becomes more important for maintaining both muscle and bone. Beans and lentils not only offer plant-based protein, but also provide magnesium, calcium, and fiber. Black beans, chickpeas, and white beans are especially beneficial. These foods are also linked to improved gut health, and a healthy gut means better nutrient absorption, critical for bones. Tip: make a hearty lentil soup or a chickpea salad for a satisfying, bone-boosting meal. 6. Eggs, small packages of vitamin D and protein. Eggs are one of the most accessible and versatile sources of vitamin D, found mostly in the yolk. They are also a great source of protein and contain essential amino acids that support the protein matrix of bones. Many CNAs avoid eggs due to concerns about cholesterol, but research shows that moderate egg consumption is safe for most people and highly beneficial for bone and muscle strength. Tip: start your morning with scrambled eggs and sautéed spinach for a double dose of bone nutrition. 7. Fortified foods, the modern advantage. Food technology has given us a bonus weapon against bone loss: fortified foods. Many cereals, juices, and plant-based milks are fortified with calcium and vitamin D, helping close the nutrition gap for CNAs who struggle to get enough through natural foods. This can be especially useful during the winter months when sunlight exposure is limited. Tip: just be sure to choose low-sugar fortified options, since too much sugar can actually harm bones over time. 8. Prunes, the surprising bone protector. Yes, prunes, the same fruit known for digestive health, have been shown to directly support bone strength. Studies suggest that eating a handful of prunes daily can help prevent bone loss and even reduce the risk of fractures in older adults. Scientists believe this effect comes from antioxidants and polyphenols in prunes that help reduce bone breakdown. Tip: enjoy a few prunes as an afternoon snack or chop them into oatmeal for a sweet, bone-boosting breakfast. 9. Herbs and spices, hidden helpers. Certain herbs and spices like parsley, thyme, and turmeric have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that indirectly support bones. Turmeric, in particular, contains curcumin, which has been studied for its ability to reduce inflammation in the joints and possibly protect bone tissue. Tip: add fresh parsley to salads or soups, and use turmeric in curries or golden milk for a flavorful bone-friendly boost. 10. Whole grains, magnesium for bone density. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, and brown rice provide magnesium, which plays a critical role in bone mineralization. Many CNAs unknowingly lack magnesium in their diets, which can interfere with calcium absorption. Whole grains also provide fiber and B vitamins that contribute to overall health and energy. Tip: replace white rice with quinoa or have oatmeal with fortified milk and nuts for a triple boost of calcium, magnesium, and protein. Pulling it all together, a bone-boosting plate. The most effective approach isn't to eat one or two of these foods occasionally, but to consistently weave them into every meal. Here's an example of a bone-strengthening day of eating. Breakfast: Greek yogurt with chia seeds, sliced almonds, and a few chopped prunes. Lunch: sardine salad on whole grain crackers with a side of kale salad. Snack: a handful of walnuts or roasted chickpeas. Dinner: baked salmon with quinoa and steamed broccoli. Evening treat: a glass of calcium-fortified plant milk with a sprinkle of cinnamon. This way, you're feeding your bones steadily throughout the day. After 60, your body's relationship with food changes. The same meals that once seemed more than enough may no longer deliver the nutrients your bones desperately need. That's because your digestive system absorbs less efficiently, hormones shift, and your bones themselves are more fragile. If foods are the building blocks, nutrients are the architects. They tell your body what to do with those foods. Let's break down the most important nutrients for bones, why they matter so much after 60, and how you can make sure you're getting enough. 1. Calcium, the foundation stone. Calcium is the most abundant mineral in your body, and about 99% of it lives in your bones and teeth. Think of calcium as the bricks in your skeletal house. Without enough bricks, your bones can't stay sturdy. How much do you need? After 50, women need about 1,200 milligrams of calcium daily, and men need 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams depending on risk factors. Why it matters after 60: calcium absorption declines with age, so even if you're eating calcium-rich foods, less of it makes its way into your bones. Where to find it? Dairy, fortified plant milks, leafy greens, almonds, sesame seeds, canned sardines with bones, and fortified orange juice. But here's the catch: calcium can't work alone. You can eat calcium all day long, but if other nutrients aren't in place, it just passes through your system unused. 2. Vitamin D, the gatekeeper. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin, but it's more like the key that unlocks calcium's power. Without vitamin D, calcium remains locked out of your bones. How much do you need? Adults over 60 typically need 800 to 1000 IU per day, though many experts suggest more if you're deficient. Why it matters after 60. Older skin doesn't convert sunlight into vitamin D as effectively, and many seniors spend less time outdoors. This makes dietary sources and supplementation critical. Where to find it? Salmon, sardines, egg yolks, fortified dairy, fortified cereals, and vitamin D supplements when necessary. Vitamin D deficiency is extremely common in seniors, and it silently weakens bones. Regular blood tests can help you catch deficiencies before they cause problems. 3. Protein, the framework of strength. While calcium forms the bricks, protein forms the scaffolding that holds them together. Bones are about 50% protein by volume. If protein intake is too low, the scaffolding weakens, and the bricks, calcium, don't have enough support. How much do you need? Experts recommend seniors aim for 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. That's about 70 to 85 grams for most older adults. Why it matters after 60. Many seniors eat less protein due to reduced appetite, difficulty chewing, or outdated fears about kidney health. But inadequate protein accelerates both muscle and bone loss. Where to find it? Poultry, fish, beans, lentils, eggs, tofu, Greek yogurt, nuts, and seeds. Here's something fascinating. Protein doesn't just support bones directly. It also strengthens muscles, which in turn stabilizes bones and prevents falls, the leading cause of fractures. 4. Magnesium, the silent partner. Magnesium often goes unnoticed, but it's essential. It helps convert vitamin D into its active form, which then allows calcium to do its job. Without magnesium, the calcium-vitamin D partnership falls apart. How much do you need? Around 320 milligrams for women and 420 milligrams for men daily. Why it matters after 60. Magnesium levels often drop due to medications, like diuretics or acid blockers, and poor diet. Low magnesium has been linked to osteoporosis. Where to find it? Nuts, seeds, whole grains, beans, leafy greens, and avocados. 5. Vitamin K, the bone binder. If calcium is the brick and protein is the scaffolding, vitamin K is the mortar that binds everything together. It activates proteins that help deposit calcium into bones instead of soft tissues like arteries. How much do you need? About 90 micrograms for women and 120 micrograms for men daily. Why it matters after 60. Seniors often eat fewer leafy greens, the richest source of vitamin K, which weakens calcium's effectiveness. Where to find it? Kale, spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and fermented foods like natto, a Japanese soy product extremely high in vitamin K2. Vitamin K2, found in fermented foods and some animal products, may be especially important because it directs calcium to bones and keeps it out of arteries. 6. Potassium, the balancer. Potassium is well known for heart health, but it also plays a surprising role in bone protection. It helps neutralize acids in the body that can otherwise leach calcium from bones. Where to find it? Bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, beans, and oranges. Why it matters after 60. Many older adults don't eat enough fruits and vegetables, leaving potassium levels low and bones vulnerable. 7. Omega-3 fatty acids, the inflammation fighters. Chronic inflammation accelerates bone breakdown. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish and some plant sources, reduce inflammation and may slow bone loss. Where to find it? Salmon, sardines, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. Why it matters after 60. Inflammation tends to rise with age, contributing not only to joint pain but also to bone weakness. 8. Collagen and vitamin C, the bone cushion. Bones may seem rock hard, but they also need flexibility to resist fractures. Collagen provides that flexibility, and vitamin C helps the body produce it. Without collagen, bones become brittle. Where to find collagen? Bone broth, chicken skin, or collagen supplements. Where to find vitamin C? Citrus fruits, bell peppers, strawberries, and broccoli. Why it matters after 60. Vitamin C intake often drops, and collagen production slows with age, making bones more brittle. The interplay of nutrients, more than the sum of their parts. Beyond nutrients, lifestyle amplifiers. Of course, nutrients don't act in isolation. Exercise, especially weight-bearing activity, helps pull calcium into the bones where it belongs. Adequate sleep supports bone remodeling. And limiting harmful habits like smoking or excessive alcohol use prevents calcium loss. Up until now, we've been talking about foods that build up your bones. But just as important as adding the right nutrients is avoiding the things that silently tear them down. Imagine working hard to build a sturdy brick wall, only to have water slowly seeping through the cracks, eroding the mortar. That's exactly what certain foods and lifestyle habits do to your bones after 60. They undo your efforts, weaken your structure, and speed up bone loss without you even realizing it. The truth is, you may already be eating or drinking some of these bone bandits daily. Let's uncover them one by one. 1. Excess salt, the calcium thief. Salt is everywhere, in canned soups, deli meats, frozen dinners, and even breads. The problem is that too much sodium forces your body to excrete calcium through urine. The more salt you eat, the more calcium you lose. Over time, this constant drain can leave bones depleted. Why it matters after 60. Kidneys become less efficient with age, so sodium's impact on calcium loss becomes stronger. Seniors who eat processed foods are at especially high risk. How to protect yourself. Keep sodium under 2,300 milligrams per day. That's about 1 teaspoon of salt total, including hidden sources. Choose fresh foods over packaged ones and season meals with herbs and spices instead of salt. 2. Soft drinks, the hidden culprit. Soda, both regular and diet, has been linked to lower bone density. Why? Phosphoric acid, often found in colas, disrupts calcium balance. Plus, sodas usually replace bone-friendly drinks like milk or fortified alternatives. Why it matters after 60. Bones are already losing density. Replacing calcium-rich drinks with soda worsens the problem. How to protect yourself. Swap soda for sparkling water flavored with lemon or fortified beverages that add calcium instead of stealing it. 3. Excess caffeine, the double-edged sword. Coffee and tea can be healthy in moderation, but too much caffeine interferes with calcium absorption. It's not about cutting coffee entirely, but about being mindful. Why it matters after 60. Many seniors rely on caffeine for energy, but don't realize it can slowly erode bone health if overdone. Safe limit. Stick to about 2 to 3 cups of coffee daily, and pair it with calcium-rich foods like yogurt or milk to offset the effect. 4. Alcohol, the bone weakener. Excessive alcohol intake interferes with vitamin D activation, reduces calcium absorption, and damages bone-forming cells. While occasional moderate drinking isn't harmful, heavy or frequent alcohol use accelerates osteoporosis. Why it matters after 60. Seniors metabolize alcohol more slowly, so its negative impact on bones is magnified. Safe limit. For most older adults, up to 1 drink per day for women and 2 for men is considered moderate. But for bone health, less is better. 5. Processed meats and foods. Acid load on bones. Highly processed meats, like bacon, sausage, and hot dogs, and refined foods, like white bread and pastries, create an acid load in the body. To neutralize this acid, your body leaches calcium from bones. This doesn't mean you can never have a slice of bacon again, but it should be occasional, not daily. Why it matters after 60. Older kidneys struggle more with balancing acids, which means bones end up paying the price. Better choice. Focus on lean proteins like chicken, fish, beans, or eggs, and swap refined grains for whole grains. 6. Smoking, a direct attack on bones. While not technically a food, smoking is one of the most damaging habits for bone health. It decreases blood flow to bones, lowers estrogen and testosterone levels, both important for bone density, and interferes with calcium absorption. Smokers lose bone mass faster and face higher fracture risks. Why it matters after 60. Aging bones are already fragile, and smoking compounds the risk dramatically. Quitting, even later in life, improves bone health. 7. Too much red meat, protein overload without balance. Protein is vital for bones, but an excess of animal protein without enough plant foods and calcium can create an acidic environment that draws calcium from bones. The key is balance. Better approach: pair lean meats with plenty of vegetables and whole grains, and don't rely solely on red meat for protein. 8. Low-calorie or crash diets, starving your bones. Some CNAs eat very little, either because of appetite loss, dental problems, or dieting. But eating too few calories starves your bones of the nutrients they need. Bones, like muscles, weaken quickly if they are not fed properly. Why it matters after 60. Undernutrition is a hidden cause of fractures in CNAs. Bones can't stay strong without energy and raw materials. Solution: focus on nutrient-dense foods. Even smaller portions should be packed with calcium, protein, and vitamins. 9. Too much sugar, the silent saboteur. Sugar doesn't just affect your waistline, it weakens bones. High sugar intake causes calcium loss in urine, promotes inflammation, and can crowd out nutrient-rich foods. CNAs who eat desserts or sweetened drinks regularly often struggle with bone density. How to protect yourself: choose natural sweetness from fruit and keep added sugars under 25 grams daily. 10. Sedentary lifestyle, the hidden food problem. Even the best diet won't save bones if you don't move. Bones need stress and weight-bearing activity to stay strong. Without it, calcium isn't deposited into bones efficiently, no matter how much you eat. Why it matters after 60. CNAs often become less active due to aches, pains, or fear of falling, but inactivity actually increases fracture risk. Solution: pair bone-friendly foods with regular walking, light strength training, or balance exercises. A story that hits home. Imagine two women, both 65, both trying to protect their bones. One eats calcium-rich foods but also drinks soda daily, adds lots of salt to her meals, and rarely moves around. The other cuts back on salt and soda, enjoys leafy greens and salmon, and goes for short walks after dinner. 5 years later, their bone scans look completely different. The first woman shows significant bone loss and has suffered a wrist fracture after a minor fall. The second still has strong bone density and full independence. The difference: it wasn't genetics, it was daily choices. The balance approach. This doesn't mean you must cut out all salt, coffee, or the occasional glass of wine. The key is moderation and balance. Your bones aren't asking for perfection, they are asking for consistency. A diet rich in bone-friendly foods can easily outweigh small indulgences, as long as they are not daily habits that chip away at your bone strength. We've talked about why bones weaken after 60, the foods that strengthen them, the nutrients that matter most, and the hidden habits that can quietly sabotage your bone health. Now it's time to put it all together into a clear, practical blueprint, a roadmap you can follow every day to keep your bones strong, your body resilient, and your independence intact. Because here's the truth: strong bones aren't just about avoiding fractures. They're about living fully. They're about walking without fear, climbing stairs without hesitation, playing with grandchildren without worry, and keeping the freedom to do what you love. Step 1. Build a bone-friendly plate. Think of every meal as an opportunity to invest in your bones. A bone-friendly plate has 3 parts. A calcium-rich food, like yogurt, leafy greens, fortified milk, or almonds. A protein source, such as fish, beans, eggs, poultry, or lentils. A supporting nutrient, something that adds vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin K, or omega-3s, like salmon, spinach, chia seeds, or prunes. Electric light bulb example: breakfast, Greek yogurt, calcium, protein, topped with chia seeds, omega-3s, almonds, magnesium, calcium, and prunes, bone-protective antioxidants. Electric light bulb example dinner, grilled salmon, protein, vitamin D, omega-3s, with quinoa, magnesium, protein, and roasted broccoli, calcium, vitamin C, vitamin K. By designing meals around these building blocks, you ensure that every bite counts towards stronger bones. Step 2. Time your nutrients wisely. Bones don't just care about what you eat. They also care about how you eat. Spread calcium throughout the day. Your body can only absorb about 500 milligrams of calcium at a time. Instead of loading up in one meal, space it out between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Pair calcium with vitamin D. If you're eating calcium-rich foods, try to include a vitamin D source in the same meal. For example, sardines on leafy greens or eggs with spinach. Protein with every meal. Instead of saving protein for dinner, include it in small amounts at every meal to constantly support bone and muscle health. This approach helps your body absorb nutrients more efficiently and keeps your bones steadily nourished throughout the day. Step 3. Add bone-safe lifestyle habits. Food is powerful, but it's only half the story.